The gap between college and professional soccer. A league that's committed to advancing women's soccer. Focusing on the development of the female soccer player during the summer months. Elevating the competition to help each player reach that next level. Providing high-level soccer for collegiate players, aspiring and former professionals, and international stars. Operating with professional standards because players and fans deserve an exceptional experience. Uniting players that inspire and are inspired. We are passionately growing the women's game. The future is bright for United Women's Soccer. It's time. Be part of the movement.
Good morning, soccer fans. Welcome to week 9 in the UWS's Summer of Soccer. We're excited to have everybody with us this morning as we get you geared up for that week and talk a little bit about what's going to happen. It's chaos, Megan. Straight chaos.
It's lighting up. There's so many divisions that have things going on. You've got to be paying attention to every single part of North America because it's going off.
Yeah, there really isn't. There's not one division that has not been answered for yet. And obviously with the East having kind of a playoff structure, the Great Lakes division going down to the wire after a draw. We'll talk about that in a minute. You've got the Southwest, which gets decided today.
Tonight.
And then you even got the West being declared tonight. This is going to be one of them good days.
Oh yeah. A lot is happening.
So before we get started, Megan, we had some news in the UWS this past week that's kind of exciting from one of our former players who was with the Chicago Mustangs. Go ahead, and you want to give us some information on that?
Yes, so Nina Niskosha played with Chicago Mustangs last season. What did she? Was she MVP or
offensive
something?
Offensive MVP.
There it was. Yeah, we had the pleasure of having her on the show this year. For last year, we were able to meet her in person up in the national championship, and she has just made a massive move. She's played with the Argentinian national team, the U20 national team, and she has recently signed a professional contract.
Yep, she is signed in Mexico with Pachuca. This is a big deal all around for Tuzas. Look, you can't beat this. This is one of those things where if you have an opportunity to play, this kind of demonstrates what we know as the pathway for more in around the world.
Nina has taken almost a unique path that we're kind of seeing more often. She's still pretty young, and she kind of chose to go that I'm going to focus on my soccer route. You don't necessarily need to go to college now and go into the draft and like some people may think that's limiting your options to just stay within the United States. And Nina has been so brave to take that major leap at such a young age and has been offered a 3-year contract. So we are so immensely proud of her.
That 3-year contract is huge. You think about what that does, puts her at I think age 23, gets her legs under her. She even was in a friendly 2 nights ago with the male side. There was kind of a combo co-ed game in Mexico, and she actually scored. And it was it was one of your classic bangers, Megan. Top of the box, left foot. Keeper even sprawled to parry it away. Couldn't even touch it. Ended up going far post, and Pachuca ends up taking the win 3-2. Against Leon, I think they played. So that's a good win right there against some solid players, and she was part of that. So you can't beat that.
Massive.
So congratulations.
That shows why they're going to make a 3-year investment into her. That's a big deal, in 3 years' time, if she's already, making big moves right now, she's definitely going to achieve big things. And it's awesome to say that she came from the UWS.
Yeah, she was on trial after post national championship last summer and was playing down there, training, and was finally able to get that contract, and really excited for her. I know her family and all of her supporters in Chicago are just as excited for what the future brings for Nina.
Yes, congratulations, Nina. We will be cheering you on every single game.
See, we need one of them Pachuca jerseys behind you there, and I can't see, here we go with the pointy thing. I need one right here. I think we're just gonna have to make it happen. We have to make it happen. Harper actually was with me when the announcement was made, and she's like, "Oh, I have to change my number." I'm like, "You cannot change your number right now." I think she's gone through more number changes than anybody I've ever met in my entire life. It started with number 30 because of Messi. That's her goalkeeper number. Then it was
Okay,
number
okay.
10. Then it was number 10 for Messi because she wants to be like Messi. 6 years old. 6 years old. And now it's 21 because Nina is wearing 21 and Daddy knows Nina. So it's going to be amazing to see what happens, what goes on here in the summer of soccer as it relates to some of our current players. And we're seeing some players just absolutely ball out, Megan. And we're going to talk a little bit about those as well with goals of the week. But let's get started on week 9 because I think week 9 brings a whole different meaning. I don't recall in the number of shows that we've done where every conference, every division, every team essentially has a chance. At least 3 teams have a chance. Let's start with the Great Lakes Division. We had a midweek draw.
Yes. That was an interesting one. A tie 1-1, right?
was
But
1-1.
the Legends are sitting top of the division because of that goal differential. But you know, it's coming down to the wire in the Great Lakes. A game that's really catching my eye for this weekend is going to be tomorrow night. You've got the Jaguars playing against Nationals. Nationals are sitting atop with the goal differential. And so that's a high pressure situation where they cannot afford to let that one slip. But I mean, Jaguars, you can play that spoiler role and not only that, but they can keep potentially their postseason dreams alive if they come out big. And so that's a huge game kicking off tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that game all in itself with the Jaguars, if they're able to pull off that win, not saying if, they can jump back into the conversation. Obviously, it's not possible because they're at 10 points. The Legends would jump the Nationals if the Legends can get a win. Let's see, the Legends, are Legends done? They are done. Right? No, they play midweek. So there's still some games left on Tuesday, but a win and you're in for the Nationals. And I think that's the important piece. I think that's what they're looking at is, okay, all we have to do is win and hold that goal differential. The goal differential for them right now is 5. And then it starts with head-to-head, right? So they drew. Then it's head-to-head goals, which is, okay, they split the point, or they split goals 1-1. Then it's goal differential in the league. So that goal differential could come back to be something that's important. It could be something where the Legends come out and they just have an absolute fire game and score 13. You never know. We've seen weirder things happen in the UWS. I think that's one of those points that we need to make sure that we're paying attention to. So Nationals leading the Great Lakes Division, the Legends of Michigan in second only by goal differential. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's super exciting, that league.
Moving to the Midwest, this one is the only one that's closed out.
Yes.
The Sirens have made it.
Union had quite the turnaround in their season, and the Sirens have been able to run away with that one.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up for week 9. It's just kind of one of those things. What do you see in terms of your side? Do you give some of the players that haven't played a lot? Do you give them some minutes today in order for them to kind of just get their feet wet going into the playoffs, Megan?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the playoffs is important to be able to have those fresh players. So maybe this is an opportunity to give them some respite, get more depth in the squad, give those players some exposures who maybe haven't been playing many minutes. And then anyone who kind of steps up and rises to that challenge then gets to prove their point as in, hey, I can be that super sub that you need. I can be that difference maker, because when it comes into playoffs, it's so important to have a deep squad. You can't just go in with the 11 players on the field and expect to win the game. You need the whole entire squad. You don't know what's going to happen. Those subs coming in have to be able to raise the bar of the game. And so this is definitely an opportunity if those players who haven't got many minutes this season can step up and show that they're worthy of that. It's only going to create better chances for the Sirens.
Question comes down to who would you rather see if you're the Sirens? Do you want to see the Legends or do you want to see the Nationals? Or does it matter? I mean, if you look at what the Sirens have done, 37 goals for, 2 against, they can score. I think it would be fun to see them play the Legends because the Legends are similar on defense with 1 goal. But then you have Legends only giving up 5 goals. So you're not going to see you're expecting not to see a blowout or a huge difference between the two sides. But if I'm the Sirens, who do I want?
If I'm the Sirens, I'm thinking I don't care who I get because we're going to win. I think that they have a lot of confidence right now. And I think they're only focusing on themselves and just taking everything that they've done and knowing that they are strong enough and they'll be just 100% confident and not be thinking about who their opponent's going to be. But this is the opportunity for us as fans of this league to be able to see how do those interconferences match up, because we like Nationals and Legends are top teams in the Great Lakes. Sirens is a top team in the Midwest. How do they compare? It's always so interesting when it comes together. Something I've noticed from the Sirens is that speed of play. They really look fast from the live streams. So I'm very curious how that matches up against whoever it may be from the Great Lakes to see if they can handle it. That's what I wonder is, can they handle the speed of play that the Sirens play with? Because for me, it's fast.
Is there a difference, Megan, in philosophy? We've talked about this on shows where we ask the style or the pattern of play in that region. Is there similar styles of play, you think, between the Midwest and the Great Lakes, or are they completely different in what they do?
I think they are similar. I think that it will be a good matchup. I think they're both willing to battle. They both know how to find the back of the net. They've both got very solid shooters. You can see what formation they're playing, and you can see them try and build through the thirds. I feel like a lot of the teams in the UWS do have pretty similar playing styles. For me, the big question is, how does the speed of play match up? Because it's so hard to tell on those live streams. And then it's so hard to tell when 2 fast teams play against each other. How does that compare to the 2 other teams in a completely different conference? That's what really comes into it when you see those conference games.
Moving out east, BC United 2, Keystone FC 1 in a midweek matchup. BC United had to win. Their season has concluded as it relates to play. They sit 8th in the playoff spots. Megan, Albany is still in the playoff hunt. If they win, they are in. BC United goes out. Ooh, lots of drama. And then obviously you have everybody else kind of staying the same. The only difference is going to be that 8th spot. If Albany is able to get a point or win, they are in. I think this is going to be an interesting unfolding of events because they play Sporting Connecticut, who is undefeated. And I do believe they want to stay undefeated.
Yeah, I do believe they want to stay undefeated. I do believe that Sporting are just growing with every game. They have a very solid culture and game plan. They're very methodical in the way that they play. That's going to be a really, really good game. There's a lot of pressure on Albany, not a lot of pressure on Sporting, but you don't want to crush the momentum that they're really building, really coming into their own, really making a mark on that East Conference to say we're coming in and we're making a statement. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the 2 teams approach it. And maybe Sporting goes in with a similar approach to potentially what the Sirens might do and give some more players opportunities, rest some of those key players maybe, and that could make it a different game if it were the starting 11 that we normally see for Sporting.
Coppermine, New Jersey, today, 5 o'clock. Coppermine Norris is the location. Coppermine already has established the 3 seed for now. New Jersey's played a little bit better. We were concerned about them at the beginning of the year, Megan. They came out really, really slow. Then they had 5 games in a week. That kind of, we were, whoa, what are you doing? But they seemed to come out of that okay. Obviously not making the playoffs, but capable of finishing top 10 with a win today. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think New Jersey are going to be disappointed with the season that they had. Had kind of a slow start, then a busy season. At this point, I think that they're now building a stronger relationship between those players. And so it's all about finishing on a positive note and taking what you've learned from this season and moving it into the 2024 season. They want to finish on a positive note. So I think that's going to light up their fire. But they're playing against a very strong Coppermine team. So it's going to take a lot to get past them.
2 teams not in the race, but both respected in that they fought all the way to the end. The Erie Commodores, Flower City, 1872, 5 p.m. Mercyhurst University. I think you're gonna use this as an opportunity to advance, to grow together, like you just said. I think any team that's not in the playoffs that's playing today, obviously there's not very many spoilers other than Sporting Connecticut, but everybody else has an opportunity to kind of build their roster, create their core, and continue building for the future starting today. And I think this is one of those matchups. Erie Commodores, Flower City, 1872.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to be a really good matchup. I think they're 2 teams that will have a good battle against each other. Erie has been a very up and down team in 90 minutes. You know, they can be really, really strong and they can score, and then they can go really, really flat and can concede. And so they need to find that rhythm for 90 minutes. And Flower City are a type of team that if they do find themselves with space, typically they can take those chances and take those opportunities and get a goal on. So I think they're quite a well-matched team, and something that Erie's got to be looking to do this game is play consistently for 90 minutes, because that's what they need in order to move forward into the playoffs in 2024 season.
FC Buffalo looking to make it 14 unbeaten, has been on an absolute tear. We're saying 14 unbeaten regular season. We want to make sure that they're acknowledged for that. 14 unbeaten. If you can do that, that's a pretty good movement. We saw that with Calgary. We built that up for the foothill, and then we saw what happened when they traveled down south. But FC Buffalo, Steel City. I think this is a good matchup. Steel City has a chance to kind of leapfrog if things pan out the way they're supposed to. They can jump into that 4 seed, assuming Lancaster Inferno loses tomorrow. But I think this could be one of those games where Buffalo tries to build or implement some new players and build them into the side, because we saw what happened at the national championship last year when they were without some important key players. The question is now, do you use today as that opportunity to bring in some players to kind of get back into the side?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that FC Buffalo have a deeper squad this year than what they had last year. They use their subs more, I think, and we've seen kind of more players stepping up. It's not just the Marcy and Charisma show. Like, there is other players that are stepping up and that are being really involved. They're a solid team, though. It's gonna be tough for Steel City, but Steel City have also been playing really, really well. They have clinical ability in their forwards, so I think it'll be a good matchup. And Steel will be looking to say, if we can compete with FC Buffalo now, that gives us a good chance in the playoffs. So I think for them, this is really a confidence builder to compete for 90 minutes, see how they match up against one of the best teams in the UWS, and see how it goes. And so I think it's going to be a really exciting game. And FC Buffalo, got to give them a shout out, because 14 straight wins in the regular season.
They have
possibly,
unbeaten
13 right now. That's really cool.
Don't put the cart before the horse. We could have some voodoo in our myths here. Then I have to hear it from people in Buffalo. We'll see. Sporting Connecticut, Albany Rush. We already talked about this one. Win and you're in. Get a point and you're in. That's all you got to do, Albany. Just get a point. just get a point. Do you park the bus like Moreno? What do you do? We'll see.
I mean, I think you just play your game. But yeah, depends on your manager. Some managers like to change things up a lot and to take care of the business that needs to be done, and others want to stay faithful in the style of play and the culture that they've built within the team. And I'm not sure what kind of a team they are in terms of their coaching style, whether they'll be switching it up or holding true to what they've built so far this season. But it's definitely going to be an interesting game.
Newcomers Main Footy is in. They play Worcester Fuel today. I'm curious to see what happens here. Again, a lot can shift in terms of seeding with wins and losses and draws, but they are in with 12 points on the season. A very respectable 3-1-3, 10 goals for, 10 against. Not making much room there, but showing that they can do it. They play a team in Worcester who they drew a few weeks back, 1-1 at home. Can we see Worcester steal another point or possibly 3 here, Megan?
Yeah, I mean, Worcester have got to be pretty confident coming into this game, given that this is a team that they know they match well with. We've seen Worcester have a few big defeats this season. That's always tough to take, but this is a team that they know they can compete with. And so this is one that if they're going to get 3 points, they can do it here, and they should use that and take the confidence. But Main Footy are a very strong team. They know how to win. So it's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
Yes, sorry, I was queuing up something here so we can get ready. Mutiny Rush, Mutiny in. This is going to be one of those games. Again, what do you do with your side? Mutiny's going to make it to the playoffs for the first time back-to-back in their history of the UWS. So congratulations to the Mutiny. Can they get a win? Can they jump up? That's going to be the main question. I don't know if there's a team in the East. I know in the East you don't want to play Buffalo. You don't want to play Sporting. Those are 2 teams you don't want to play. But then when you look at 3 through 8, it's kind of one of those things where I know that they've talked about playing who you haven't played in the regular season as opposed to playing your seed. So if everything was to end right now, Buffalo would be playing BC United, Sporting would play Main Footy, Coppermine, Mutiny, and then Lancaster and Steel City. That would be kind of how you would see it in traditional playoff structures. But I know this year they're saying, okay, well, if you haven't played this team, go play them. I don't want to see Buffalo play Sporting Connecticut in the first round of the playoffs in the East. I want to see them in the end, or I want to see Coppermine and Buffalo versus Lancaster, and then Coppermine versus Sporting. That's what I want.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think the way that playoffs traditionally are structured is that you root for the teams who are at the top, knowing that they have shown all season that they deserve to be in that seeding. They've worked hard to get there and they deserve to have a reward. But also you root for those teams at the bottom who become those underdogs in the lower seeds that you really want them to just come out in that first round when they play against FC Buffalo and they just come out with a big win. And you're like, whoa, what an upset. And that becomes even bigger of a win for them because they were playing against the number 1 seed. So yeah, I'm definitely team traditional. We'll see what happens.
Tomorrow, Lancaster Inferno, Keystone FC. Lancaster has the most to lose here. They've won 5 in a row. If they lose, they drop from the 4th spot to the 6th spot, which in traditional playoff form would put them against Coppermine, and they've already seen Coppermine. I don't know if they want to see Coppermine again, though.
Yeah, I mean, they could want to see Coppermine in the sense that I think that Lancaster will feel that they were not ready almost to take on Coppermine. They got out those nerves during that game against Coppermine. But they probably want to see Coppermine towards the end of the playoffs, once they're sort of getting towards the end, not in game 1. So yeah, it's an important matchup for them to win out, get that 5th win in a row, and secure 4th spot rather than 6th spot.
I would much rather have 4th than 6th.
Yeah.
Megan, let's take a pause and let's go into goals of the week and saves of the week. before we get into the last two, talking about the Southwest, which has an important game, and even the last game out west tonight. Ooh, it's a lot to talk about. But let's go ahead and talk about goal and save of the week. We are actually we're gonna let this one go through, Megan, and we have the other video that shows the full goal of the week. Parent submission this week.
We love it. You know, number one fans are mom and dad.
That's right.
And if you haven't got those at your game, then they're watching the stream and they're going to be supporting in all the ways that they can, whether that's sending in their video, sending in their pictures, whatever it may be. And yeah, definitely worthy of seeing the full goal for that one.
All right, so here we go. Megan, walk us through goal of the week, week 8. Sorry, we are going into week 9. So week 8, UWS's goal of the week. Here we go.
So coming up first, we should have Sierra Wanamaker of San Antonio Athenians.
On the chip, too.
Very cheeky one. Next up, you've got Mackenzie Dupree.
So let's look at this here. This ball's bouncing. It's got kind of this is a striker's bounce, by the way. This is one of those ones that like bounces. It doesn't go too high, but it doesn't go too low, and it's just it sits right at the middle of the ankle, right between where the shin guard and the ankle come together. If you wear those old shin guards that have the ankle braces in them, those are the ones that I'm talking about and referring to here. But catches it and just rifles it in. Far post. Nicely done.
Yeah, really nicely done there. And I love the celebration as well after it.
All right, next we have Steel City FC and Mackenzie Dupree.
Yeah, this is a banger from outside the box.
Oh, yeah, keeper's not getting there. I don't care how good of a keeper you are or how tall you are, you're not getting there. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, you can see keepers at like full stretch, but that's a lot of power in Mackenzie's strike there. Ball kind of just came to her and she was able to make a decision quick and eye for goal, very clinical finish.
Yeah, you can see the full stretch here, just not enough. Probably didn't even get a finger to it, but that's all right. Good attempt, solid finish. Mackenzie Dupree with Steel City FC. Next up,
we have Kayla Chin from Los Angeles Soccer Club.
I haven't seen this one. Please tell me it's a bicycle kick.
Not quite a bicycle kick, but it's a dirty angle.
Where are you shooting from? This is one of those ones where it's meant to be a cross, and you're saying nope, that was definitely a shot. I don't. Hold on. What? I'm confuzzled by this one. The angle of which this is.
Yeah, over by the corner flag.
I mean, we're way over in the far corner. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this is a cross. This is meant to be a cross. This has to be.
Yeah, surely, especially when you've got a player running back post. But hey, she'll take it.
Keeper thought it was a cross. Keeper came off our line thinking it was a cross. All right, and this is the one that is leading the pack right now, Megan. It is a Lancaster in front of special.
Marissa DiGenova was Defensive Player of the Week last week, and now she's coming up with a goal. I'm pretty sure she had a goal nomination too previously. So this is for Lancaster Inferno.
Ooh, beat the keeper, left-footed. I think the keeper thought that. I like the pass more than I like the finish.
Yes.
This is a very threaded finish, getting past and
put it on a dime.
It's on a dinner plate right there. Look at that. And a one-touch finish. Has to be a wing back.
That is actually Olivia Schertzer, who is the Week 8 Defensive Player of the Week.
Oh, see.
She had a fantastic performance defensively and offensively, as you can see with that assist.
All right, and then we're getting to saves. I picked one already. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
All right, and it's gonna be from Wooster Fuel.
Okay.
That was mine because it was one of those things you came out and just snatched it. Just took the ball. Didn't even hesitate. But I'll let the fans decide. It's not my choice. I just speak up. I try to tell people what should happen. But we know what happens there. My wife will yell at me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into save of the week. We already are there. All right, here we go. First up,
Shaylin Vanderbosch from FC Buffalo. This was in the Erie Derby.
parry save. I like it. I like it.
You know we love when the goalkeeper does the roll.
Oh yeah, the Neymar injured rule. See, this is one I like. I like what Nicole did here. She's coming out. She's making a play, and she's able to just kind of get big and knock it away.
Yeah, this is brave defending.
Well,
She's
there
very
was no
commanding
defending.
of her box.
That's why she had to do her job.
Yeah, she's very commanding of her box, Nicole. It's very impressive.
She's coming out, hits it with her knee, sends it away. All right, this is the one that I said was this is my nomination. So Liliana and Tony, this was my nomination. She just came out one-on-one. Defense wasn't there. She's just like, this is mine. I'm going to take it from you right now. Swoop. I like that.
Yeah, I like this one too because I feel like quite typically this one is not your classic save of the week, as in I'm at full stretch, like stopping a goal going in from the top corner. But this is a complete save. It's a player through on goal, and she said, I'm just going to come and collect this before you even get a chance.
And this could have gone bad. This could have gone bad had she not gotten the ball and gotten more of the player.
True.
And she was able to just take the entire ball. All right. Albany, Molly DiCaprio.
Yes, with the penalty save.
Big paw. That's a big paw on that one.
Yeah.
You just stopped it on a dime.
Yeah, that's ultimately what every goalkeeper wants to be able to do, to save it in one. When you've got a penalty in the middle of the game, if you parry it out in front of you, there's a very high chance that the player is just going to run in, crash the net, and tap that in. And so she does really, really well to just collect that one in one.
Smothered it, called it hers, called it a day. I like it. Keeps it simple, saves some points, that's for sure. They needed those. All right, back to week 9, Southwest Division. Everything on the line tonight. No, it's going to be hot in Dallas, and on the pitch, it's probably going to be even hotter and more humid because the Athenians are traveling with a mindset. I think this is the really, they have to make up for what they did in the early part of the season, the very first game out when they took that loss. They have to answer for that, and I think today is that day to answer. The question is, what are you going to see from this side? Are you going to see the Athenian side that will just play it out? Are you going to see the aggressive Athenians that we saw leading into the playoffs last year? New team, I get it. Younger team, younger side. But what team is it that you're going to see today? And what team from Luxoria are you going to see today as it relates to who's going to finish? Because this is an automatic bid to the national championship. It's not a playoff structure like with the Great Lakes, with the Midwest and East. This is a straight, here's your ticket, let's make it happen. Luxoria, Athenians, 7 p.m. Still to be decided, I think, on the venue. I have not heard official word on that, but they're kicking off tonight, 7 p.m. in Dallas, Megan.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. I think from my perspective, pressure is on for the Athenians. They could secure their 3rd trip in 3 years to the national championship with a win tonight. It's a younger team, but they know that previously these girls have been able to make the national championship, and that's a lot of pressure to continue that. So for me, the Athenians have all the pressure. Luxoria, it would be their first time going to the national championship if they win. So I think that for them, it's more of a absorb the moment. Let's go out and have fun and maybe make history for our club. And so I think the pressure is on for the Athenians, and Luxoria will maybe not have those nerves, which could go against the Athenians. But we have seen those kind of veteran players from the Athenians start standing up and start leading, and that could be the difference maker that they need. You've got Mia at the back. You've got Sierra Wanamaker. You've got Ayala coming in. And so Athenians are going to be looking to those players to see if they can be those leaders that they need and pull them through.
The I-35 Classico. Remember last year, this was one of those games where it came down to the wire as well for Luxoria with all the other things that were happening, and they lost 2-0 to the Athenians. So that ended their season run. This game is going to be at, just got a word, looked at their Instagram, I cheated. Prince of Peace Stadium, 7 p.m. in Dallas. So if you're in the area, go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, this is a must-watch on 11. Eve Clarkson, defender for Athenians, really needs to come out today and control the back line because, Kennedy Kessler, she's there. She's ready to seal a ticket. I think she wants to play in a national championship. Close in 2 previous attempts with Luxoria and with Lone Star. Now you got to punch the ticket straight up today.
Yeah, it's a moment that could be a really big one for her in her career. To finally make it to that big stage. She's definitely a player that is worthy and talented enough to be playing in that national championship. I feel like the Athenians, like just thinking back to last season with that game against Luxoria and then the season before with that game against Lone Star, the Athenians do tend to pull it out of the bag in these high tense, high pressure situations. So who knows tonight? That's definitely going to be a good one.
The question is, did they travel to Dallas yesterday or are they traveling this morning? There's been times where you've seen teams kind of take their time and they'll go day of. It's just a matter of how far you want to go. I mean, it's 293 miles. It's a 4-hour journey from San Antonio to Dallas. I would have gone the night before. I don't know what San Antonio decided to do, but I would have gone the night or even the day before to get going.
Yeah, I agree. I think majority of the time, if you can go the night before, typically you're more rested, you're more focused, you're with your teammates, doing that full preparation together, which is only a benefit in my opinion.
And you get a good night's rest.
True.
The other matchup in the Midwest or in the Southwest is the Blues versus the Runners. 2 teams that are definitely ones to watch as it relates to 2024. I think the Runners have always been in the conversation for teams that we think are going to come back and improve, and they have. The Blues being their first year of kind of it's a mixed bag from players in the Austin area. I know Austin has a really good adult program, and so hopefully that they can continue to build. I know they're soccer down there. We've seen it. We've been there. We were in Round Rock 2 years ago for the national championship. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Austin Blues.
Yeah, absolutely. This is 2 teams who just need to go out there and have fun, end the season on a positive note with a competitive game, and start building towards the 2024 season where hopefully they'll both be back in the UWS because I think they've been great members. Runners for 2 years now and Blues for their first season. And it takes time to build things. It takes time to compete, especially when you've got the likes of the Athenians in your league who have, like we said, been 2 years running into the Final Four. It's a competitive division when you get an automatic place into the national championship. So 2 high quality teams who can just go out there and have fun tonight.
Definitely no pressure. Just go out and do what you can to secure points if that's the case. Tomorrow we have LASC versus FC Arizona. FC Arizona playing tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that matchup. But LASC has been, the last 5 matches, it has been able to kind of build. They can make it 5 straight wins with a win tomorrow against FC Arizona.
Yeah, I almost feel bad for LASC because I feel like they're really coming into it, but they don't have a chance, right? I don't think mathematically they can, but they have been playing really, really well. They've got really talented players. They've shown that they can compete with the best of the best in the UWS, and it's kind of wild to think how well they have done this season to then only be third, if that makes sense, you know?
It does. And for them, that's kind of an accomplishment. You can finish with 15 points. You could essentially be above your crosstown rival in the Blue Heat. Well, no, I mean, you'd be 5-3. So you'd be even. You'd be even if FC Blue Heat wins tonight. If FC Blue Heat loses, then you jump them. So you become second place in the West. Calgary would get the automatic bid. Calgary was supposed to play last night, but unfortunately, Reno could not make it up to Calgary, so that was a forfeit 3-0. And as it relates to that, Calgary or SC Blue Heat will also receive 3 points against Reno because Reno is not going to host them next weekend. So tonight is the night for the West as well. A ticket to be punched. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be SC Blue Heat or is it going to be Calgary? SC Blue Heat plays FC Arizona at home, 7:30 Pacific time on 11. And if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. FC Arizona had the magic last week, winning 2-1. Megan, this game could go either way. I'm tempted. It's a 6-hour drive. I could make it by kickoff, and then I can make it back for my tea time tomorrow. I think this could be one of those matchups where it's going to come down.
Like tea time.
Oh no, like golf. I got a golf game tomorrow. I'm interested to see. No Sade today. She's on Jamaican national team duty. We saw how much she was missed last week, not having her presence. What do you think?
Yeah, she is a very, very important player for FC Blue Heat. She is on the ball a lot of the time during those matches where she plays. She will drop in and she can run in behind, and that double threat is just so much to handle for defenses that she often finds herself with pockets of space where she's either taking that herself to create chances or setting up teammates, just setting them up for success, whether they then go on and score or she's the assist to the assist and they create a goal. She's such a crucial player, and it was a big loss last weekend for them. Tonight is going to be crazy because FC Arizona almost don't have any reason to win, in the sense that they can't go to the national championship, but they could play a massive spoiler because the fate is all on this game tonight. They've done it once. They did it last season as well. And so, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Like they just need to go out there and take care of business, play the way that they played, be strong, play for the full 90 minutes and see what happens. But I think SC Blue Heat are going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder, not just because they need to win tonight to go to national championship, but I don't think they were happy losing 2-1 last week. They felt like they were coming close and weren't able to seal a victory over there.
Yeah, I just, I don't. You're right. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, you have to go in a different mindset. I think playing at home is a different ball game. It was hot last week. I was talking to Sydney, and she was saying it was 101, and you could feel it off the plane. And they were fueling as much as they could with, Gatorade, electrolytes. They were trying to stay fueled, but Arizona heat is just different than when you're playing in Southern California, where I don't think it gets over 85 degrees sometimes. But it's just a matter of the atmosphere too. If you got your home crowd behind you, it's kind of it's having like an extra player when you hear your crowd. College of the Canyon is a little different. It's the way they play at home. You can definitely see it's different than when they're on the road.
I completely agree. FC Arizona, I feel very at home in their stadium. They use the fact that they train in that climate to their advantage when they welcome teams to their stadium. And SC Blue Heat, when they're at College of the Canyons, that's their stomping grounds. That's where they really come into their own. That's when they know exactly the size of the field that they're playing on, and they use it to their advantage to cover every single inch and make the field as big as possible, drawing out those players and then excelling into those gaps and really making big plays from there. So I think it will be a different game tonight. I think you're right. But I think that FC Arizona will maybe enjoy playing in some cooler weather, and maybe that will help them to have a bit more energy for the full match.
Will we see the Liz Warden we saw against Calgary Foothills, scoring the hat trick, and then kind of just last week was I don't know. I wanted to see Liz Warden come out and play with the same intensity she did, but I also want to see what happens with Zoe Burns. Zoe Burns, 1 game, 90 minutes. Will she be back on the side today? Can she get some legs in her and get some moving and fill the role for Sade, who's not there? Again, you're talking to somebody who played 5 games, scored 4, assisted on 1, 9 total points, really kind of pulling the strings along in the midfield. Got to see it again. And Amanda and Maddie Perez as well, having to kind of pull a little bit more. You're going to be asking for a lot more from players, I think, starting today, heading into that national championship, if they make it.
Yeah, absolutely. For tonight, SC Blue Heat need to see players step up in order to get that win. And then they're going to be looking to those players moving forward in the national championship. So they do need to start seeing more players stepping up. They can't just be relying on those classic names that we know. And they're very talented players, but they're not always available. And you need to get consistency. They need players showing up for the full 90 minutes, week in, week out, not just turning up every so often when they need it.
Cameron Valadares has an opportunity to play against some of her hometown friends in FC Arizona, because she does go to University of Arizona. So she's familiar with the style. She's familiar with the Heat, playing 6 games, 244 minutes. Question is can she give a hand in the midfield to kind of press forward and change or alter the result? Don't know what the result's going to be because you got to play the game first, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting matchup. 7:30 Pacific time. If you can see it live, if you could drive over with Jonathan, let him know. I'm sure he'd love a car buddy. If not, hopefully they'll have that stream going and we can all watch and join that one, because, yeah, it's a very, very important game tonight. And I wonder what Calgary are doing. Like, are they having a watch party, or are they just kind of like, don't pay attention and we'll talk about it tomorrow?
I mean, we could set that up to have a watch party. I don't think I have any. If I don't go, hey, we could do a watch along. Ooh. We could do a big Zoom watch along, or like a Google Meet where we get people together to watch a game. You'll be in bed, I think. That's
yeah, it's gonna be a late one for me.
Yeah, that's like 3 a.m. for you, because you're in England. Megan is back across the pond, as they would say. Get another vacay, her and her vacays. I swear it must be, it's one of those things. So, well, hey, summer of soccer is coming to a conclusion. Week 9 today and tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about the midweek games. We'll probably have a midweek show. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing, because next weekend's just jam packed with activities and fun here in the California region. But we shall see. Announcements for stay tuned. Announcements on National Championship weekend coming up, hopefully this week. I keep getting that. Megan keeps telling me, "Oh, this week," and then we're waiting for some finalization here. So hopefully this is the week. This is the week. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, I sure hope so. So everybody can start making arrangements, because we definitely want a big crowd out there. That's for sure.
This has got me on my toes. Like, are the Glazers going to sell Manchester United? I'm just trying to figure it out. What's happening? When are we going to get through this? So, hey, everyone, enjoy the summer of soccer week 9. Enjoy some footy. Watch it all on 11. Enjoy it. Have fun. Let us know what your thoughts are as it relates. Who do you think wins the West? Who wins the Southwest? Can the Legends leap over the Nationals? What are we going to see? What do you want to see for playoffs in the East? Let us know. Send it over on Twitter to the UWS Soccer, at UWS Soccer. Let us know your thoughts on what you guys anticipate as we get closer to the National Championship weekend, July 21st and 22nd. Site to be determined. Boom.
Yes, it's gonna be a good one. And last congratulations once again to Nina Nescotia with her new contract. And congratulations to Nicole D'Agostino for Goalkeeper of the Week. Congratulations to Olivia Schertzer, Defensive Player of the Week. And Offensive Player of the Week, congratulations to Sarah Woods. You can check out the full article with the team of the week on uwssoccer.com. So be sure to stay up with that one.
Awesome. Well, hey, until next week, everyone, cheers and have a wonderful weekend of soccer. Hope everybody stays tuned in to 11 for all of your UWS action. We'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers, everyone.